Well, first off, thank you for that context. It sounds like you have a crazy story right now. Right now, your cold traffic is the natural funnel that should be added onto what your existing. Like basically, warm is only going to get you whatever warm's going to get you, and you probably have a warm sales motion rather than a cold sales motion. And so when cold traffic's going through a warm motion, it's not converting. And so we basically need to change your sales motion from a warm motion to a cold motion. And so there's two downstream benefits of that. When warm traffic goes through a cold motion, they will be more sold and more likely to take a higher priced offer. And when cold traffic goes through a cold motion, they'll just be more likely to buy. And so basically we need to microwave your cold traffic to make it warm. And so that's basically the step in the process that's probably missing. So walk me through the cold traffic funnels that you had leading up to this. And what is let's start with the warm and then we'll do the cold. So what's the warm traffic funnel right now?
Warm traffic funnel is just VSL into book a call.
Okay. Yeah, so just a basic call funnel on warm traffic.
And we also have a warm direct response that is printing as well. That one fatigues really quickly, so we have to keep spend down.
So it's just bottom of funnel. That's the issue. So basically it's functionally like that direct response, kind of like, hey, come to the thing, is taking the bottom slice of the pyramid, the people who are like 6-inch putts, and then just putting them in. So in a lot of ways, they're just retargeting. But you're looking at like, how do I get more people in top of funnel into my world, correct?
Correct, yes.
So there's a couple ways to do this. I'll call it the short-term and long-term way, and we could have a combination of both, which is probably what I recommend. So the call it the blended way is to run a paid workshop. So when I say paid workshop, I'm saying like call it a $49 to $99 offer, probably $99, and have it be a legit workshop. And then that workshop will allow you to take, like it's much easier to get someone to buy a $99 thing than, how much is the poker coaching?
$5K.
Okay, yeah. So it's much easier to get those guys to spend $99 and deliver one thing that's super valuable. You prove the value, right? That way they don't have to guess, is this guy good or not? You can take the time to tell them who you are, and then the vast majority of it is going to be the value, and then you make them a nice, irresistible offer of taking the next step. And so basically you book your calls from that live thing rather than from like a short VSL.
Cool. We tried a cold webinar and it's flopped a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm guessing, was it free?
Yes.
Yeah, so I would make it paid and just expect that you'll expect to lose money on the the $99 purchases. But what'll happen is I'm going to bet that the people who did no one show up, or were the people who showed up not qualified?
We had about a 25% show rate.
That's fine. For free, that's fine.
Yeah, only 5% of those booked calls. The retention was incredible, but only 5% ended up booking calls.
So what's likely is that the vast majority of people who showed up to the webinar were unqualified. Did you have any metrics on the customers, like from the opt-in of like who was qualified for the thing?
It seems like even the ones that booked calls, just most of them could not afford the thing. So
that's where like having that little bit of friction will typically take the unqualifieds from like 90%, which is probably what it was, to closer to like 40% on a paid workshop. And once someone makes a tiny purchasing decision, likely they make the next purchasing decision significantly higher, like buyers buy more. Does that track?
Yes, 100%.
So basically just run this to a sales page, stack the living fuck out of the bonuses, so that it just be like the $99 should feel like absolutely absurd, and then make that, call it like a 3-hour workshop, and then just sell at the end.
Cool. Okay.
Does that make sense? It was you just had to tweak it. That's all it was. You were like, free sometimes can be harder, and especially since you have an audience, it's like these people have some level of trust with you. And so it's like, let's deliver more value prior to the ask.
100%.
And then qualify better. Sense. Yeah, I would also, on the opt-in form, are you getting qualification data?
Right now, we were only asking for name, email, number.
What do you know? What behaviors or characteristics does someone have to be a good buyer for you?
The average amount that they buy in for is our highest quality signal. Play poker.
Oh, okay, cool. So then I would just add that as one of the fields. So you have name, phone number, email, average buy-in for the games you play.
Cool. And do we DQ people who don't?
No. What it'll do is you're going to get